We have a massive trade kicking off day 2 of the NHL draft. Mikhail Sergachev is heading to Utah. Pierre LeBrun tweeting out Tampa trade Sergachev to Utah, and we do now have the return going back to Tampa. Tampa's getting Connor Geekie, JJ Moser, a 2025 second-round pick, and pick 199 in this year's draft. In your eyes, who wins this trade? Does Tampa Bay win this trade by moving on from Sergachev, acquiring some young talent and some draft picks, and maybe more importantly, some cap space? Or does Utah, in their first ever trade, end up getting a number 1 defenseman in your eyes and you think that they hit it out of the park here? I love this trade for Utah. I gotta be honest with you. I love Mikhail Sergachev as a player, so it makes a lot of sense for me to like this trade. I get that, but I think he is that good. And literally, as I'm recording that part there, another trade has just come out for Utah. Elliot Friedman reporting John Marino from the New Jersey Devils also going to Utah. Legitimately getting 2 top 4 defensemen in a matter of 5 minutes there. That is crazy. Sergachev acquired by Utah and is also a former Windsor Spitfire who I used to love watching play here in Windsor. Put up 19 points in 34 games last year. He did have some injury trouble, but throughout his career has been a very steady defenseman for the Tampa Bay Lightning. And just last year signed an 8-year extension for $8.5 million a year. Utah gets, in my opinion, a number 1 defenseman for their squad. John Marino, also acquired by Utah, is a right-handed defenseman. 25 points in 75 games last year. Eats a lot of minutes, doesn't play the power play, and won't put up a ton of points for you, but very solid defensively. Marino carries a cap hit of $4.4 million over the next 3 seasons. And Utah makes a massive splash, or at least a couple of splashes here on day 2 of the draft. The full trade here is John Marino and pick 153 in this year's draft to the New Jersey Devils for pick 49 in this year's draft and a second-round pick in 2025. That clears up room for Brett Pesce to go to the New Jersey Devils, and honestly, New Jersey's looking really good. And shout out to Utah for making something happen there. Hopefully they put out a team this year that people are excited to watch, and they can make a splash and maybe make a run for the playoffs. As for Connor Geekie, he's a 6'3" center that was drafted very recently. He has yet to play a game in the NHL thus far, but he's a big center drafted high in the first round. Could be a big piece for Tampa in the future. As for JJ Moser, he's a 24-year-old left-handed defenseman. There's your replacement for Sergachev. He's played 3 seasons for Arizona so far, 72 points in 205 games. Playing over 20 minutes a night, he could be a good piece as well. Now let me know down below what you think of Utah making these moves. Now, giving up Connor Geekie, JJ Moser, those picks, that's a lot, but they're getting a legit number 1 defenseman in my eyes. As for the New Jersey Devils and Utah trade, this one, it's kind of a wash, right? You get a defenseman, you get some draft picks, whatever, who cares? It's more about freeing up that area and that cap space for Brett Pesce for the New Jersey Devils. They weren't going to be using John Marino this year. They didn't have room for him. So getting a couple picks for him works out really well in my opinion. Personally, I think this is a massive day for Utah, the franchise, the city, everything. The team is just going to be so much better. They're completely changing their back end, and that's going to be huge for them in the future. I'm very excited to see where they go with this. Let me know down below what you think of the trades. I'm going to get out of here as it looks like there's going to be more trades coming in, one involving the Detroit Red Wings very soon. And I want to get on top of that. So I appreciate you watching. Let me know down below what you think, and we'll see you very soon right here on the channel.